This lecture begins Chapter 3, Professional, Ethical, Legal, and Regulatory Issues. So in this chapter, we're going to talk about some things that can get us into trouble and some difficult decisions that you may be faced with in the healthcare environment. Our objectives for this chapter will be to define basic ethical and legal terms and how they differ, differentiate ethics and bioethics, describe types of consent used in healthcare settings, including informed consent and implied consent. Describe how to avoid litigation as it relates to blood collection. Define standard of care from a legal and a healthcare provider's perspective. Identify key elements of HIPAA. List key factors common to health professional liability insurance policies. List common issues in lawsuits against healthcare providers and prevention tips to avoid lawsuits in phlebotomy, and explain the term liability and what it means for healthcare providers. Laws are societal regulations and rules and regulations that we're advised and obligated to observe. Laws protect society, the welfare and safety of society, and laws are constantly changing as our society changes. Ethics. Ethics refers to the moral standards of behavior or conduct that governs an individual's actions. And we're taught ethics early on from childhood when we're taught the difference between right and wrong. And so as healthcare providers, we'll be confronted almost on a daily basis with having to make professional decisions. And some of those decisions we may find conflict with what we would consider or what we've been taught as something personally to be right or wrong. Bioethics. Bio refers to life, and so bioethics deals with those issues that are surrounding life and death issues, for example, abortion or when a person has the right to die, cloning, harvesting embryos, in vitro fertilization, and who gets to receive organ donations. Ethics overview. All healthcare workers are faced with ethical decisions at one time or another, and ethical decisions require using a healthcare team approach as well as an individual approach. The key issue here is that each individual should reflect on his or her own standards of behavior and those of his or her professional affiliation. It's really important, you guys, that you think about some of these issues, such as abortion rights, pro-life issues. A lot of the hot topic issues that are going on in the news, you should reflect on those things and how you actually feel about them, because in the healthcare environment, you're going to come into contact with people from all different walks of life. And we have to remember that we're there to provide care for them, provide a standard of care to them, no matter what their religious beliefs are, no matter what their political views are. And so we have to check ourselves first and how we personally feel about those issues so that we can be mindful not to interject any of our personal feelings into any conversations with the patients, or allow anything that they may be displaying, such as they may have something on a shirt or something displayed in their room that reflects their feelings on a particular issue. And so we just need to be mindful of these things and not let them trigger us to where it can in any way alter the care that we deliver to the patient. ethics check. And so one of the ways to help us to reflect on those issues is to ask ourselves this series of questions. Is this legal and does it comply with institutional policy? Does it foster a win-win situation with the patient, supervisor, or other individuals? How would I feel about myself if I read about this decision in the newspaper? How would my family feel? Can I live with myself after making this decision? And is it right? So we're going to stop there today and do some reflecting. Your assignment is going to be to read box 3-1 on page 86, which gives examples of ethical behavior for a healthcare worker. And then I want you to share with the class a situation that you may have experienced that required you to make an ethical decision. And if you haven't had such an experience yet personally, then research an ethical situation and share with the class what the situation was and the outcome. And I will see you guys next lecture. Bye-bye.